Hello everyone and welcome to my morning report analysis videos on Tuesday 15th of January with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. There's a mild risk positive look to markets today, but the main focus is on this Brexit vote in the UK Parliament today. Well, certainly from sterling side and the potential knock-on effects on risk appetite as well. So sterling has actually, well, initially was gaining ground, but has actually given some back now as the dollar has sort of taken a bit more of a precedent as the outperformer on the forex majors today. We've got this vote tonight, and I mean, to be honest, it's anyone's guess, but ultimately Theresa May is going to lose this vote. Just depends on how many votes she loses it by, really, and the subsequent fallout from that loss will depend on how many votes she loses by, really, and the impact on sterling could be, I think, initially likely to be a bit of a knee-jerk reaction lower. Markets sort of buy into rumour, sell on fact. You've seen sterling regaining ground. It's actually above 28 figure, which was a basis of resistance previously, so pulling above that means it becomes supportive to an extent. But ultimately, I think that the volatility is going to be far outweighing any sort of real support resistance lines that you're going to be able to derive from cable or euro sterling, for example. And I think it's going to be really a volatile night tonight. You look at risk appetite has picked up, as I said today. You've got the equity markets rebounding. Wall Street was lower, but the futures have rebounded a touch. So subsequently, we've seen Asian markets higher. Asian markets, Nikkei and the Shanghai Composite, and subsequently European markets are higher as well, but not as high as they were. DAX is actually testing that 11,000 level early doors today, but that's unwound 100 ticks already, so that's lost ground, as has FTSE 100. And as the initial positivity that we've seen through markets has just dissipated slightly. This dollar has regained some strength. That's the VIX, which shows a little bit higher volatility, but not enormous. Actually, no, sorry, slightly lower. But mainly the dollar has sort of settled a bit in the last couple of sessions, but it's basically running alongside how Treasury yields are moving at the moment, and that's not necessarily a surprise, but Treasury yields are still sort of underneath their key pivot lines as well. But yeah, it's interesting that we've seen the dollar regaining a little bit of ground today, but ultimately still looks to be a sell into strength still. So takes me to my data points for today. We've already had the German GDP numbers, and they were disappointing. I mean, 1.5%, and for the year, that is for 2018, 1.5% back from 2.2% in 2017. So it's not a great year for German GDP, and the euro got hit on the back of that. But we're then looking towards the US data this afternoon. We've got New York Fed manufacturing, basically around where we were last month. We've also got the PPI at 1:30. That sort of gives a lead towards inflation, actually, so that's going to be a number that's looked at. Core PPI expected to just tick a little bit higher to 2.9%, headline staying at 2.5%. But as I said, the main sort of news for this evening will be the UK vote at starting around about 7 o'clock, but may not be exactly at 7 o'clock, depending on any amendments that come forward. So my chart today is sterling based. I'm looking at euro sterling. Now, euro sterling has been a key sort of indication of Brexit traction, and subsequently what we have actually seen, interestingly, is sort of moves towards the possibility of extending Article 50, which is interesting, and that's sort of helped to pull a bit of sterling gains, and you can see that through 89.40, which has been a pivot in the last 3 months, pulling through 89.40 on euro sterling, down through that, and again we are sort of falling away on euro sterling as the euro has underperformed today, and you can see the momentum indicators actually sort of negatively configured. It all sort of edges towards the possibility of So the market's pricing for a softer Brexit, or certainly the implications of a softer Brexit given this vote tonight. Now, as I said, the volatility could be fairly sizable from this vote, and likely to be that if there is a positive Brexit result for Theresa May, then you could well see 88 figure tested, but possibly even 87 area, which was again an old sort of support area, 87 figure. But a really heavy defeat, I think. Well, it's interesting because I think what we would see is through 89.40 and probably back towards 90, maybe 90.50. Maybe 91 in a really strong scenario. So it'll be interesting to see how this the market reacts to this. But certainly, I think Euro Sterling is going to be a key market to watch in the event. And you can see here when you saw a breakout above 91 figure that was held, then that would be very implying a sort of a very negative outcome for that vote. So with that in mind, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.